what you believe.
Welcome back to the podcast. You heard it here. Eventually, no dots, but a pause, a slight pause. Thank you for all the clapping. I know we add that to the intro. We have a live audience here today. This is our first episode using Monday.com. It's been set up. The punishments will begin after this episode officially. So yeah, we got a pretty jam-packed episode today. I guess we can start with big titties. Mine is I finally saw Knives Out 1 and 2. I've been sleeping on these movies for so long. The
Well,
first
2 came out more recently.
yeah,
That was like less than a year ago.
yeah.
So, first one though, that was a long time.
Yeah, and it was very good. I think it was my first Daniel Craig movie ever. And I'm a
'Cause you
big
haven't seen
fan.
Bond.
Yeah. I own
You ever
every
see
single
Tomb
Bond
Raider?
movie. No.
You never
He's
saw
in-
Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie? He's in the first. He's in the first one, yeah.
Damn, I thought because those are old, right?
They are really old, yeah. And he uses an American accent. I don't think he does that in very many movies.
I
since
like when he
became
talks
Bond.
with his southern accent and but Knives Out.
Yeah, it's a good accent.
It is.
It is a good accent. I like it.
Benoit Blanc, he's so cool. Every time he comes on screen, because me and my roommate were watching them together, and I just turned to him and I was like, he's so cool. Because he's just the goat.
Yeah.
One was awesome. I think I knew, and I was just trying to lie to myself that I didn't. Spoilers. That Chris Evans did it. I think I knew that going into the movie, but they did a good job of making me doubt the potential spoiler that I saw because I was like, damn, maybe he didn't do it.
Yeah, it's well done.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the Who Done It.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you figure it out from the clues.
Mm-hmm. The second one is also good. Like if the first one's a 5 out of 5 movie, I would say the second one's like a 4.5. It's still good, but like you're expecting the twist this time, I think. Like in the first one, I think like I didn't really know going into it what was gonna happen in terms of the twist, and then this one I was like, okay, there's gonna be a big twist in it, so I'm looking for stuff the whole movie. I still didn't call it the whole time, but I think I was closer in Glass Onion than in the original figuring it out.
Mhm.
But both were awesome. The cast of the second one, like 4 of them are in Marvel, I think. You have Edward Norton, who was the original Hulk. You got Catherine Hahn, who's Agatha Harkness in WandaVision. You got there was I think one of the girls was in the Iron Fist show as like I don't remember if she was like a love interest or whatever, but she was in that. And I want to say there was one more, but there's a lot of Marvel people in that movie, so that was cool. Oh, and Dave Bautista, obviously, he was in it.
Obviously.
So yeah, real cool movies, big recommend. And yeah.
Oh, you're done talking
Yeah,
about it now?
that's my big titty.
That's the end.
Mhm.
All right, my big titty, anime related, is solo leveling. I was gonna say solo fucking leveling, but I don't want people to search for the wrong thing, because that's probably hentai.
True.
Solo leveling. I have owned these physical manga editions, like at least 1 through 4, for months. I've like, nah, I'll wait. Now there's no more waiting. There's no more waiting. I'm insanely into this series. Like I was telling Vinny right before we started recording, the erection I have for this series is equal in size and power as to Henry Cavill.
Damn. And that's big. If you know him and Henry Cavill,
Whopping.
that's big.
Yeah. So this series, it's like almost a reverse isekai. Instead of you getting transported to another world, the other world almost gets transported to you. So these gates open up and magical creatures start coming through. And it's basically like a gate opens, it's a dungeon, you can go in and beat it, and then the gate closes. If you don't, the monsters come into the real world and start fucking shit up, like especially the boss monsters, which are tough mofos. And you're following this guy who is literally the weakest. Everyone went through this like awakening thing. It's almost like Hunter x Hunter. You awaken your fucking Nen and all this other stuff. So a few people will awaken just randomly, and they'll have a certain power level. You could awaken at like an S rank, or you can awaken as an E rank, and we follow the literal weakest person. The average E rank has a power level of 70-ish or something, and he's at 12, I think. He's literally known as the weakest hunter, which is what they're called in the world. And I don't want to spoil too much stuff, but let's just say, like, once you have a power level, it's supposed to be set forever. There are rare instances where there's like a second awakening where your power increases, but it still is just static after it increases that one time. And as you can guess from the title, this is called solo leveling. So he gains the ability to essentially level up. And I think it's on episode 6. I watched it today. And I don't know, just every single episode just has me more and more and more. It's like, oh my God. I
Yeah,
cannot recommend this one enough.
this is one I'm probably, just because how cliffhangery it is, I'm probably gonna need to wait till it's over and then binge it. But
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it.
It is very cliffhangery, which is why I need to read it because I can't wait. I want to at least read up through what the first season will be because I'm tired of these cliffhangers. And I do have one complaint, even though it's the big titty. Let's talk like just a minor negative is for sure the pacing is weird
Mm-hmm.
because you're following this guy. He's in fights, he's doing crazy stuff, and it just does a cutaway to try and do world building. And you like all of a sudden there's these 3 women having lunch, and they're talking about which guilds they belong to because they're all high ranked hunters,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just friends that belong to 3 different guilds, and they're like, having like gossip about it. We're in the middle of a fight.
Is
Show me
the
that shit
fight?
after or something.
Do you see the fight, or is it
Yeah,
done off screen? Oh, then I don't care about that.
but it's
If
like
it
you're in the
was
middle of
like,
the action, and then it just takes you away.
yeah, a little weird.
It's weird to me. I don't know.
That's cool. But yeah, so
Well, that's my big titty.
nice.
I can't recommend it enough.
I will probably watch it. Yeah, if it's on 6 and it's going for 12, then yeah, I'll probably watch it soon. But
Is it a confirmed 12?
no, I don't know. I just assumed.
I feel like this one's so hyped it's gonna go more.
Let's see.
I think it's gonna do like a 25 because Shangri-La Frontier is doing like 25. They're already on 18.
Let's see. 12 episodes.
Really?
I mean, if it's that good, then don't you want it to be animated beautifully?
Yeah.
So that's the
So
payoff.
far, it is animated beautiful. I have
Yeah.
faith in the people that are animating it. They
Yeah.
could go longer. They could do more.
Listen, we're not gonna put our Japanese animators to work like Mappa does. They never see their families. We support 12 core seasons. That's the official take of the You Heard It Here Eventually podcast.
I guess we do. That's the official take then. Fine.
It is.
I can get behind that. It's tough. It's tough to support that. I'm
See,
not
but
gonna
here's
lie.
what I'm saying. Like, if the thing that I'm nervous about is like Tower of God didn't have like a huge cliffhanger at the end. Like, it was like a decent stopping point because like the time skip and all that. But like,
Yeah.
it does entice you for more. So that's what I'm nervous about this one ending, and then it's gonna be like you're gonna. I don't know if there's a time skip in the series or whatever. I know the main character changes his look. He looks badass after like 2 seconds. I read
It's
up
like
to that
after
point.
2 episodes. Yeah.
I for sure read
Like,
up to that point.
His intro to like his leveling up ability is basically doing daily quests, which involve One Punch Man's workout.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that was like a nod to One Punch Man or in One Punch Man, Janos literally says that's an average workout regimen for people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, or crunches or whatever,
Yeah.
run 10 kilometers and 100 squats.
Yeah. No,
That's what he has to do.
There was one series like that on Webtoon I used to read before Webtoon became like a shitty app, and you would have to like individually unlock chapters with coins and shit. It was called The Gamer, and that was really cool. It was essentially the same thing, except like it wasn't the whole world got all these skills, and it was just like one guy, and his life just became a video game. So like he would get like, oh, do your homework quest, and then he could like put
Hmm.
points into like strength, dexterity, agility, stuff like that. Um,
That
that was
is
cool.
crazily similar to solo leveling,
Yeah.
except for it's not just well, for that of power, it's just
And
him. It
I
seems
want
like.
to say I could be wrong, but the gamer might have came out first. But I mean, frick it. Who cares if
But
stuff?
solo leveling would have perfected it, I
Yeah.
guess. Like made it a better, more enticing world.
Hmm.
Because the world is cool and the other characters are cool. It's just like you don't spend a lot of time with any individual side characters yet. So you just get these like little snippets of the guy that's like the director of the hunter organization and the guy that's the head of the #1 guild and
Hmm.
like these like other side women who are part of these bigger guilds and they're like kind of like gossiping about who's going to be their next leader or whoever when the older people kind of retire. Uh but
But
yeah,
it's good, and I will watch it eventually, and then we'll probably talk about it again once I watch it.
and that one will have tons of spoilers. I'm not holding back whatsoever.
Yeah.
At least from what's been watched. If I somehow manage to read ahead of it, like if I really do get so sucked in that I find it online and read ahead because it's not on Shonen Jump, so it'd have to be on somewhere else. I know it
Yeah.
started on Webtoons.
Yeah, and then now there's physical, but I don't know how far the physical is. And there's
I mean, physical. I have 5. I got the
I
fifth
have
one. There
6.
might be a sixth one. There is a sixth one, so
There
I
might be a
can't imagine that
7th
they've
at this
done much
point.
more.
Yeah.
But there's definitely no more than 7
Yeah.
because when I first bought them, they were only 4 out.
Hmm.
I randomly happened upon the 5th one. If you have the 6th one, that would have had to have been recent. So 7 would have had
I
to be
think
like right now.
let's see. There is 8 out. No.
No
Yes, 8
fucking
out.
way.
Yeah.
Is 8 on pre-order or something?
No. 8
It's
is
actually out.
yeah.
Damn, I need to go to Barnes and Noble then. I need
And
to buy 2 more.
there's only 13 total with a side story. Wait,
There's no way. 211 chapters.
wait, no. Okay, I was reading the web novel, which is the light novel. Okay, so the webtoon, there is 8 out. 8 came out like a month, like a week ago.
Okay, a week ago. That fine.
Yeah,
That tracks then.
and there's only 9 out in Japan right now. So like we're pretty on par with Japan's releases too for physical, which is not bad.
Well, since they're adapting it from the webtoon,
Yeah,
so it's not even originating from there. Yeah.
yeah,
So it makes sense that they would just adapt it in Japanese and English, kind of almost simultaneously, and release it.
yeah.
When their origin content is in Japan, it's hard to at the same time release a volume's worth
Mhm.
in English, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't recommend that one enough. I gotta be honest with you. We've been talking about how it's gonna be a slow year for movies. It's gonna be a slow year for games. It's like a crazy year for anime.
Yeah.
Just in January alone, you have a bunch of season 2s of like stuff that was nominated last year, like Mashal and Goblin Slayer and stuff. And now you got all these like new series. Solo Leveling is probably the most hyped new series in a long time that I
Yeah.
can think of. It's been hyped for the last like 8 months since it was announced. It's been so hyped, more than like Kaiju number 8 and all these other ones that I think are pretty good and also
Mhm.
still on the way. And then you have Shangri-La Frontier was this sleeper hit. Like I randomly happened upon it. It looked kind of cool, and it might be like that and Solo Leveling. It would be a toss up for me as which one should win like anime of 2024 already.
Damn. I'm
Probably
sure.
Solo Leveling
Yeah, I'm
just
sure
because of the
Solo
story.
Leveling is at least gonna get a nominee. I wouldn't be surprised if it won. I just don't know what else is coming out this year. Is the thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming out later in the year. I
Yeah.
think Solo Leveling for sure is going to get a nomination.
Yeah.
I honestly think Shangri-La Frontier, it's so popular right now, I think it's going to get a nomination. Like anyone that I've convinced to watch it has been shocked by how much they've enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Like just had to power through, and then they get upset that I never told them that it's still airing and like season 1's not complete. They get kind of
Damn.
mad at me.
Yeah.
But it's close. It's 18 or 19 out so far, and there's no way it's more than 25.
Yeah.
So
Um.
yeah, that's the big titty, I guess.
Nice. Okay, so I guess next we can talk about the weird Microsoft announcement that I don't really get. So I'm gonna let you lead this one. I heard about it, but I don't want to misspeak.
Well, they haven't officially announced anything yet, as far as I'm aware. I think that's coming next week.
I
So
feel
it's
like
just rumors
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
right?
I
Okay.
think so. I thought I saw last week that it was coming this or no. I thought I saw 2 weeks ago that it was coming last week, but maybe I saw last week that it was coming this upcoming week. They were doing
I'm pretty
some
sure
press
it's
conference, I think.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that in the news, I'm pretty sure it was like Monday or Tuesday this week where I was seeing posts saying that Phil Spencer is going to
Yeah.
have an official like business update from Xbox and Microsoft and what the direction of their future.
Mm-hmm.
But the rumor right now, the big rumor that has a bunch of like Xbox content creators and stuff kind of like shitting all over the brand and saying that they're like trading in their Xboxes and stuff. And oh, excuse me. Wow.
Damn.
You can edit that out maybe. I didn't expect that burp to come. That was out of nowhere. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm leaving it
if it's
in.
not edited out, he's leaving it in. So if that's not edited out, I apologize. I thought I was just gonna have to breathe deep. Damn. All right. The news is that, or the rumored news is that Microsoft is going to announce that they're essentially taking a step back from focusing on hardware because the Xbox is dead last in hardware
Yeah,
sales.
I saw that it's
PlayStation's
not
kicking
even
its ass.
close.
Switch is kicking its ass.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean, this is probably, I don't know if I would say it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever, but having Game Pass and having a guarantee that every exclusive game on your console is going to come to PC same day
Mm-hmm.
as Xbox, like it makes so much more sense to invest in a gaming PC because you can play way more than just Xbox games, and
Yeah.
you can get all Game Pass Ultimate, $18 a month or whatever it is, and you can play all these games on release day. Essentially unlimited access to it. They haven't really taken too many games off of it. It's not like some of the other streaming services so far where they remove tons of content at once or lock down access after a certain time. And they invested heavily in Game Pass, and it lost money, but it got so many new subscribers all the time that it's obviously on the track to become profitable for them in the long run. The problem they have is that their hardware is so in the tanks that they're missing out on a bunch of software sales. And I think what they've seen is how Sony has been releasing games on Steam, their exclusives on PC, and they're making a killing. Like all these people that have been kind of locked out because they didn't want to invest in a console or whatever the reasons were. Maybe they didn't upgrade to a PS5, whatever the reasoning is. They're making a killing on software sales. And the rumor is that Microsoft is going to announce that their exclusives are going to start coming to Sony and potentially Nintendo. So you're going to be able to play like Starfield on the PS5, which kind of makes sense. Bethesda's been multi-platform forever, so they at least have like knowledge of how to code for the platform. Some of their other studios might have really shitty ports at first.
Yeah.
And then you have other ones like in talks. People are pretty much sure that Halo will come, and
That would
they're
be
not
crazy.
sure about Gears of War.
Yeah.
But those are
If
two
Halo
of their
came to
biggest
PS5, that would be
IPs.
crazy.
Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about from this is what Xbox exclusive would be like. Now that we have it, we have to play it. Like maybe not. Maybe if it has been on PC, maybe we've kind of dabbled in it. But which one would be the ones that we think people would have to play? Ones that they've been missing out on. By
Okay,
being
so
Sony
yeah, so what
fanboys.
is there? There's Gears of War, there's Halo, there's Forza, there's
Got to be at least a fighting game because Sony has Tekken.
I feel like there's
They usually
not.
go tit for tat. Well, they now own Activision too.
Yeah. Well, like Call of Duty's still
Uh,
coming out on PS5.
It was basically a guarantee.
Yeah.
Like they said that for the next 10 years it would. I imagine that now, if this announcement's
So
true, it'll
I
be
didn't hear
forever.
about the hardware part. Well, I heard that they were
They would ramp
behind,
down. Part
but
of
I
it is they would
didn't.
ramp
Yeah,
down.
I didn't
Xbox.
hear that they would ramp down, which is funny because my dad just called me. He's like, I'm thinking about getting a game console, because I'm just bored at home sometimes. And he was like, I was looking and I like how the Xbox looks. And he's like, I saw like a comparison with the PlayStation, and I don't know, I just like the graphics on the Xbox. And I'm like, you raised me to be a PlayStation fanboy. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I just felt so betrayed. I felt like I went wrong somewhere in my life.
Led astray, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But
people can change their preferences, but that's weird.
yeah. No, but because he was also like, I really like how that Forza game looks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if this
Forza
comes
generally does win, like the racing
Yeah.
genre. Usually kicks Gran Turismo's ass.
Mhm.
So, which is funny because the movie made it seem like Gran Turismo was like the most realistic.
Yeah.
Like it's like a racing simulator. It's not even a video game or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Halo is the top choice. I have it
Gears
on
of War, obvious
yeah.
choices.
I
Yeah.
feel I have
obvious.
Halo on Steam, the Master Chief Collection. We'll probably co-op it eventually on stream.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. So I probably
We have
wouldn't get it
Hi-Fi
on
Rush.
PS5. Oh yeah, but that's on Steam too. Yeah, see, I'm thinking of all this shit that's like, yeah, I just probably buy it on Steam.
That's why it can be on Steam. But let's say you don't have a gaming PC and you've
Yeah,
had to choose consoles in your life, right? Like,
yeah,
and you have a PS5 and you're like, I wish I could play this on Xbox or whatever. So that's why I'm trying to think which ones. I mean, I can't use us as an example. We
yeah,
have the ability to play basically every game that comes out. We both have Switches, we both have PS5s, we both have gaming PCs.
yeah.
You know, what is
Okay,
there
yeah.
that's
Then for
top
the
that?
normies, I feel like I feel
Gears of
like
War and
Halos
Halo.
are the top two, but yeah, like Hi-Fi Rush, I've heard good things about. I've never played it. Um,
The one
Forza,
that
yeah.
yeah, and then another one that's another, like, if you consider that a racing simulator, apparently Microsoft's Flight Simulator is something that people just like
Oh yeah.
splooge all over.
Mm-hmm.
That's been an Xbox and computer exclusive for a long time. That would be probably on the top of a lot of people's lists. I don't even think there is a similar comparable game on
Maybe
Sony.
like what's that one, Ace Combat or something? But that's like fighting, right? That's not.
That's like fighter jets, yeah.
Yeah.
Flight Simulator is, you can, anything that flies, you can just fly it. I'm pretty sure you can fly like the first airplane that was ever flown by the Orville brothers or whatever they
Yeah.
were, whoever their names were. I can't remember them now.
That's it. Oh, the Wright
Um,
brothers. Orville
the
Wright was
Wright
his name.
brothers,
Yeah, yeah.
Orville Wright, yeah. A shocking one, remember the Insomniac Xbox exclusive that came out of nowhere?
No.
Even though now it's
Wait.
Insomniac, the Sunset Overdrive,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
where you're
yeah.
like skating around and spray painting shit and you're throwing a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
shit on zombies. It's almost like a mix between Infamous from Sucker Punch and
Yeah.
like Dead Rising, the one where you're the photographer. That was another Xbox exclusive. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And you used to kick a soccer ball. It was like one of the best weapons. You just like literally headshot a
Is
bunch of
it?
zombies at
I don't
once.
know that. Yo, what was that
I
one game
remember
called?
seeing
Like
that stuff on G4
Rise, I
TV.
think. RYSE. Wasn't that an Xbox exclusive? It was like an Xbox One
RYSE.
launch title. It was like some Roman shit,
Oh,
Greek shit.
it sounds familiar, but I can't remember what it was called.
I feel like yeah, it was. I don't know, but that's also I guess a thing. Um.
Psychonauts.
Oh yeah.
Psychonauts has a big following. Yeah. Double Fine. I guess most of Double Fine's games have been Xbox exclusive then, right?
Yeah.
So even the one with Jack Black as the head guy, where you're the metal rock star.
I don't
Damn,
know.
what the fuck is that game? Hold on, I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that one.
Jack Black video. Brutal
Um.
Legend. It's
Oh.
old. They were talking about like back in 360 days for some of
Yeah,
these,
I
like
didn't even know that
Psychonauts
was
1,
a.
Brutal Legend.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all positive. Like, even if let's say Horizon Zero Dawn came to Xbox, like I wouldn't be mad. It's more people to play a cool game. Like,
Yeah.
Sony still
I
gets the
think,
credit for making it. Or
and you still have, I assume that they'll follow the same policy that Sony's been following, which is like
a year
not day
later.
one,
Yeah.
a year, 2 years later.
Yeah.
And they at least try to do a good port instead of just a piece of shit thing that they throw out there to try and get some software sales.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like Xbox to or PS5 to Xbox or Xbox to PS5 has got to be pretty similar. I feel like the only thing that changes is like your button screens, your screen, the buttons that display on the screen. They have
Yeah.
very similar hardware, so it's not like it's gonna be
And the
that
controller
different.
are almost identical. The only thing that Sony has that Xbox doesn't have is the touchpad in the center, which, yeah, some things you like swipe up and down to do things. You know how in God of War,
Mm-hmm.
now you swipe down on it to do the 180 turn?
Yeah.
It used to be like down on the D-pad, but then for Ragnarok, they had to remap that.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain things with that. That's like literally it, though. The
Yeah.
only difference. And I feel like they could release a control if they really needed to, like from Sony to Xbox, they could release a controller that would be
Yeah.
like, the
But
Sony
everything is
friendly controller.
remappable also.
Yeah.
So I think it would be fine. But yeah, I think if it's true, it'd be cool. I don't know necessarily how. Like, I don't think they're exiting the console wars. Like, whenever the PS6 comes out, I'm sure Microsoft is gonna have something.
hmm I'm wondering if they would shift to like more affordable for the time gaming PCs,
Mm-hmm.
because that business model would be like, let's say you release a $500 gaming PC that's actually like you can play the newest games on,
Yeah.
but just barely.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go fast forward like 2-3 years, the new game's coming out. You need to upgrade again, so it's almost like you're forcing a faster upgrade cycle, and you can make more hardware money that way.
Yeah.
It's not the best, it's not the best thing that they should do as a consumer,
Mhm.
but as a business model, I think that people might actually be okay with it because then you get something that you can do other stuff on too.
Yeah.
And most gaming PCs have a lifespan before you have to upgrade stuff of like 3 years anyway.
Mhm.
So if they just guarantee the games from the moment that they release that PC 3 years out, they'll guarantee that you'll be able to play them at good good quality. I think people would be fine with that. And
Yeah.
then they would just have to upgrade their PC at the normal cadence, and it would be a more affordable gaming PC. It wouldn't be like a beast.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to like stream off of it and do all this other stuff at the same time. But you can incorporate in like a dual stream setup and just use that as your gaming machine, and you capture card it into a different one.
Yeah.
You know,
My
whatever that
roommate
setup
sent
is.
me that there was like a Costco that had a gaming PC for $700 that had a RTX 4060 in it, which I feel like, I don't know, it seems like too good to be true almost to me. I feel like maybe
Okay.
like the power supply has to be like asked because it's not listed on here, or like the
Mm-hmm.
CPU I haven't heard of. Like, so I've heard of an AMD and I've heard of an Intel. I've never heard of an AWD. So like maybe that's a little shitty. I don't know.
And it's a
Um,
PC or is it a laptop?
no, it's like I'm showing it for audio listeners. I'm showing it, but yeah, it's like
It is a
PC.
desktop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. It has a terabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 4060, $700.
16 gig of RAM is a little bit low,
Yeah.
like for today's standards, for like a high power machine standards. But RAM is some of the easiest
Yeah. Click
upgradable
it in.
stuff. It's some of the cheapest, and yeah, you literally just get, if you have 2 slots for 2 sticks that are 8 gigs right now, you get 2 16 gig sticks or
Yep.
whatever. They're more expensive, but so what? You upped your RAM, you doubled it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Um.
So I think it's just, I also think it's positive, and I also would not mind if Sony was like, yeah, I mean, we're already releasing it on Steam. Why not
Mhm.
release it on Game Pass or something? And then hopefully, to be honest, hopefully that would like make them increase their own fucking Plus platform
Yeah.
and make it better and more comparable to Game Pass.
Mhm.
Like, we've been worried, or at least I've been worried about all the studios buying all these other studios and locking down a lot of exclusivity.
Mhm.
But now if they're just willing to share and just get software sales and maybe just delay the game by like a year, like they were already kind of doing that. They were already making deals with independent studios where they were like, make it Sony exclusive for a year. Make the map packs in Call of Duty, the first thing Microsoft ever did for timed exclusives, map packs in Call of Duty 3 months exclusive.
Mhm.
So you get a benefit of having it on another platform. So you still get that benefit. You play it day one. It's just eventually it'll come to the rest of the world so anyone can play everything and people can enjoy a bunch of stuff without having to spend just crazy amounts of money and have to have like a setup at home where you can support 8 consoles at once and you have a bitchin' gaming PC in your basement or like in a second bedroom or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All positive. Um. But yeah, I think another thing we are going to do today, a first time segment. First timers. We are doing a top 3 segment. Full transparency, I think we need to be posting on TikTok more, and I think this is a good TikTokable segment.
And you do everything on social more, and most of that's on me. So, but part of the punishments will evolve into I have to post on Twitter, X. Sorry, Elon
Yeah.
Musk. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So for our first top, so we want to do like each week a top 3, and so like one of us will have time to prep, and one of us will sort of be like on the fly. So this week it's me. So I had time to prep my top 3, a little bit, because I didn't think of this until like 30 minutes ago. So what I wanted to do is top 3 supporting anime characters. And what I mean by supporting is like Zoro, right? Is a main character, but Luffy is the main character, so I would consider him a supporting character.
Yeah.
So most animes, if you, like, I count it like 1 to maybe 2 main characters. Everyone else is free reign for this tier. So I have 3, and then I have some honorable mentions that didn't make my list. I feel like the person who's prepping can make honorable mentions. If you think of some on the fly, you can have honorable mentions. But
yeah, okay.
So my 3, number 3 is
You doing 1? Oh, 3 to
I'm
1.
doing 3 to 1. I'm gonna do
Okay.
3, 2, honorable mention 1.
All right. I will just list 3 that I like. I don't know if I can rank them. I might be able to rank them.
Mine also might not really be ranked. It's just like I might have thought of someone later that didn't make the list. I don't really know. This was just again my 30-minute prep who I thought of.
Hmm.
So number 3, I got Caesar Zappelli from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the second one. He's great. He's the best in my opinion. I love that. Uh, I love that season of JoJo. I love that supporting character. Everything about it's awesome. Um, Number 2, Levi from
I
Attack
knew
on
it.
Titan.
I
That's
knew
my
it
goat right there.
because I was thinking about adding him to my list just now.
You can add him. We can have
I
dupes.
know, and I think I might have to, but since I didn't finish it yet, I'm not sure if I should. Like, I feel like I might need
Listen,
to.
I'll tell you if you love him now, you'll love him at the end. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Like he doesn't do anything that'd be like fuck this guy. Honorable mentions. I have 4. I have Killua from Hunter x Hunter.
Before you do one.
Yeah.
Before you do one. Okay.
I have Killua from Hunter x Hunter.
Killer was a good one.
Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball anything.
Mm-hmm.
Kamina from Gurren Lagann. Which is
okay.
the I don't know if you've
Yep.
seen that.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. And then L from Death Note.
L from Death Note. That's an interesting one. I mean, he's a good character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who's not the main character is supporting then. Like,
Yeah.
but it has to be on the side of good though, instead of like not a villain.
Give me an example and
'Cause-
I'll tell you if I'll count it.
Like Doflamingo. He's not a supporting character. He doesn't support Luffy. He's a villain for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like top 3 villains in anime
yeah.
would be a separate list.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's just say they have to be good guys.
Yeah. And then my number 1, you already know who it is. My goat, Zoro.
Yeah, my number 1 as well. I'll just say that right away, like right immediately. He's obviously my number 1. But continue. Go ahead. Mention why. Give us some reasons.
I mean, do I even need to? It's just if you've seen One Piece, you know. Like, all I gotta say is Thriller Bark's the worst arc of all time. That's one of the coolest Zoro moments. He made Thriller Bark badass from that one scene. He's always just like talking about his loyalty to his captain. He started off hating pirates, and now he is one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's just the go. I feel like there's no way anyone can watch One Piece and hate Zoro. Like, sure, he might not be your favorite, which like even that's a little like I don't know if I trust you fully if he's not your favorite. But like, there's no way you watch and you're like, I dislike this man.
Yeah, I feel like that is pretty impossible.
And I also didn't really explain Levy too much. I mean, you haven't seen it yet, but season 3, Levy versus Beast Titan, one of the best fights in the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's just the goat too. And No Regrets. That was a great OVA. All that.
Yeah, I've watched all of those. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my list. I'm sticking to it for now. Maybe we'll have some appendings in the future, but that's what I got.
Okay. I'm going through my anime planet so I can get like think of which ones I've watched and what ideas I can get. I mean, I think obviously I'll just get started with number 1. Number 1, Zoro. He's for sure. He's literally my favorite One Piece character, hands down. I like him better than Luffy. Like, I mean, most of the crew is pretty equal, but Zoro is in a tier by himself, essentially. He is the first mate, basically as strong as Luffy. Like, honestly, by the end of the series, if they go toe-to-toe, I've seen so many fan arts that are like Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji when they're old men and their bounties they're basically just all the Yonko on one crew. Like Rock's pirates level shit, and they're all just actually like friendly with each other. They don't constantly try and kill each other, except maybe Zoro and Sanji. Trying to think. Killer will be up there. I feel like I don't know if I can do it. Let me list some and then figure out which ones I want to kind of throw in there. Oh my god, how would I pick on Yu Yu Hakusho between Hiei and Kurama?
Oh, good choices.
Oh,
I mean, I feel
shit.
like for me, it's an easy choice.
Hiei?
I would go Hiei for sure.
Yeah, I'm leaning Hiei, so I'm gonna say Hiei. But just know that both of them are honestly, I could probably put both of them on this list.
Yeah.
I don't know about top 3, but they would at least one is honorable.
I wanted to choose one per series. So I think like and also an honorable mention for mine that like I wouldn't really count, but I just love her is Sasha from Attack on Titan. She's the comedic relief. And
she's the one that loves the Titans, right?
No, she's Potato Girl.
Oh, Potato Girl.
Love Potato Girl because I do love mashed potatoes too. It's my favorite food.
I mean,
one of
let's
them.
face it. Every character in that series is basically better than Eren Yeager.
That's true.
So, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say he is on that list.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say he is on the list. Killua, I won't put on the list. He would be an honorable
I
mention
feel
for
like
me
we
as
just
well.
haven't seen Hunter x Hunter in so long that like he's taken a little
I
bit of a
know.
back burner. And also,
Yeah, I
like, even if
know.
you're reading the manga, I'm pretty sure he's not even really in it that much anymore.
Him and Gon aren't.
Yeah. What are
It's
we doing?
Kurapika,
Isn't he
right?
like
Isn't that
leading
the
it?
blonde
Yeah,
guy's
an
name? Yeah,
expedition or
he
something.
leads the expedition, but now you're following like Gon's dad and like the badass hunters.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
There's also a fight between Kroyo and Hisoka,
Soka.
the
Yeah,
clown guy. Hisoka is like I don't even know if I should put him on a villain list or like a I do like him a lot, but he's
he's
for
just on
sure
like his.
not
He's on his
supporting.
own list. Favorite
He's
Hisoka.
he's not even he's not even like so it's not even that he's a villain. He's literally not attacking Gon. He's like, I want you to become stronger so that then I can kick your ass.
Yeah.
And he'll fight anybody. He'll take out the goddamn spider gang, which I forget. Like he'll join them. He'll kill anyone that gets in his way when he gets like, his like murder boner at
Hmm.
maximum capacity and stuff. Um I don't think there's anyone who I would pick from Slime.
I guess
There are
another
some
honorable
people that I
mention
like.
for me could be like Itachi. I wouldn't count him a villain at the end of the
No,
day.
he's definitely not.
I
And
think
I mean,
I
if you've seen Naruto at the beginning, you think he is, but
yeah,
he's for sure not.
yeah. I think he'd also go on my honorable mentions.
Yeah. So I have Hiei. Zoro's number one. Hiei would probably be number three.
So we're
'Cause I
looking for
really do
number
love that
2.
man. Yeah. I
Joey
can't
Wheeler.
pick. I
I
can't.
got you.
I
Joseph
am
Wheeler.
not going to pick Joseph
Oh,
Wheeler of all
sorry, you're
people.
right. Tristan Taylor.
Yeah, Tristan for sure. Anyone besides Taya, I think, would be a good addition to the list. I'm trying to think if there's someone in One Punch Man. I don't want to say Genos.
No.
I do
I
like
love Metal
Terrible
Bat.
Tornado. Metal Bat's cool. I like Tornado. Like she's a brat, but she's so powerful and just like kind of like
Hmm.
yells at everybody, and
Yeah.
then but doesn't kill people necessarily when they start treating her like shit.
Hmm.
Like she
Oh,
does have she does
I
hold
keep
back to
seeing
some extent.
all these people, and I'm like, Frick, you should have been on my list. Like Accelerator.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen that series, so
Yeah.
I can't say it. I did recently remember our pins where you had the 5 lists that I
Yeah.
had to go through, and I finished Sword Art Online. You didn't
Yeah.
even finish something that's on your own series.
Well, because
I
I
can't pick
was like,
anyone from
yeah,
Sword Art though. I don't
yeah.
think. I kind of want to pick someone from Doctor Stone. I think you know what I'm gonna pick. God, but I can't remember her name. Blonde
Um,
girl that's like the badass. That's really the strongest person in the village, basically.
the freaking
What the fuck is her name? She's
well,
the younger daughter of the former chief.
yeah, not the one who's sick. Her sister.
Not the sick one, yeah, the sister, yeah.
Freaking, hang on, I got you. It's
It starts with a K.
Kohaku.
Kohaku.
Yeah.
Yes, that is it. I'm gonna pick Kohaku. I
Damn.
really like her. I love her relationship with Senku, and it would have maybe been one of his friends from the past that got de-stonified also.
Hmm.
But they leave for the whole like first season. They're gone until
Yeah.
season 2 starts. So I can't pick them yet because I haven't seen season 3 yet.
Yeah, I recently watched
whatever else is airing now.
Ryusui, the TV special, and then I only watched New World Part 1 and 2.
Yeah. And then if I'm gonna do some honorable mentions, let me throw like 1 or 2 out there. We already picked Karama, honorable mention. I think honorable mention from One Piece would probably be Jinbei.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a second crew member, it wouldn't be Sanji, just because I never really gravitate toward the pervert character. Sanji's awesome for sure, obviously, but I think Jinbei is more of a stoic presence on the crew.
Yeah.
Like he's the only one backing up Robin as someone who's not going to freak out at the slightest thing. And then I'm going to pick essentially the entire team from Haikyuu. That's not the main 2 people. That's not Kageyama or Hinata.
Listen, no, frick that.
If I had to pick one, Norishina.
Is that
the libero?
I love that, man. Frick
The
though,
libero. Yeah.
little tall bitch. I forget his name.
Little tall. Oh, Suki.
Yeah, frick him
Blonde
and
hair,
frick his
blonde
friend
tall guy.
too.
His friend who does the jump float.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, yeah. Oh, Black Clover. Oh my God. Honorable mention for Black Clover.
I mean,
Probably
you could.
Yami.
Oh yeah. Well,
Captain
see, no,
Yami.
because I was thinking also of doing like a top 3 like teachers in
Well, they could be on
anime.
multiple lists.
Yeah.
Yami's for sure a supporting character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like for sure he counts in this category. But if
If
it was
I'm
a
going
top three
Black
teacher,
Clover,
I think that he would be on my actual list instead of an honorable mention.
I might go the vice captain. I like that dude.
Oh, the from
The
the
new guy.
newer
Yeah.
stuff, the one where it's like, damn, this, we never really thought about it, but there's no vice captain of
Yeah.
the Black Bulls, and all of a sudden, oh no, there is. He was just
Yeah.
in deep cover for the entirety of the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm good with my list there.
All right. I'll probably have to
Oh,
edit mine
that
around
was
because
good.
I added like 7 after you started going. So
Yeah, I feel like but honestly, for TikTok things, we're doing things that we agree on. A lot of them, we're gonna need things that we argue about,
yeah.
where we're like interrupting each
Like
other.
top
No, you
3
shut up.
top 3 pizza toppings.
Oh, Jesus
I don't know if
Christ.
we would disagree on that, but top 3 sodas, fuck Dr. Pepper, fuck root beer. I said it.
We would obviously be fighting to the death on that one. My two favorites, essentially. I'm done with soda though. This is my last one. I only got this because we had like a boys' night last night where we came over, like some friends came over to play games. The guy that organized it bailed at the last minute, but 2 other guys
What
still
the
came
hell?
over. We watched a little bit of anime. Then I brought the Switch upstairs. We played some Mario Golf because none of us were good at it, and it was funny as fuck. And then we switched to Smash and just kind of fucked around with random characters.
Nice.
But I got dinner for them, and I needed something to drink because without soda I have nothing. So I got soda for them.
I've been on a
leftovers.
kick. My new rule, I haven't bought in soda in the new year at home. I've only been drinking out of my Owala. I love this water bottle with my life. It's one of the best water bottles you can ever get. Fuck Stanley. If Owala wants to sponsor us one day, I mean, I'll shell out. I'll do anything you
Yeah.
want, really.
Yeah, same goes for like Monday.com and everything that we
look at
ever
this,
mentioned
look at
on this podcast ever.
You can suck like a straw right here or sip, tilt it. It's incredible. Apparently,
I've never seen that.
it's awesome.
I've never seen that combo.
Apparently, I heard a rumor it's called Owala because when you put it up to your nose, you look like a koala.
That's good.
I don't know if that's true. That's just what I heard. I love
Who
this
cares?
water
Chicken
bottle.
and
It's
egg
like
scenario.
it's like $30, way cheaper than a Stanley. Best water bottle you'll ever buy.
Owala, OWALA.
Yep.
Hashtag ad.
If they want to, please.
Yeah, fucking sponsor us, somebody. Damn.
First
can
we
put some
first we need to get a
production value into
sponsor, then Streamer of the Year nomination. It's our
Yeah.
2-year plan.
Yeah, damn fucking straight. Well, first we gotta be rising stars, both of us.
True.
And
then whoever doesn't win,
share the award.
whoever doesn't win, there is gonna be an episode of beef.
Just constantly like reasons why you shouldn't have won and I should have won and stuff. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm good with beef. Yeah. I think our
Um,
top 3 lists are pretty good.
yeah. I
To
have
be honest. I mean,
many.
so many honorable mentions though. You picked
Yeah.
a list where it's like there's just it's actually really hard to narrow down.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I would
why-
need a day to write
Mhm.
everyone down to really have like my solid, I would never question it again in my life, top 3 supporting characters in anime.
Yeah.
It would be easier to do main characters because there's so many main characters that kind of blow.
That's true. Like Naruto wouldn't make my list.
Yeah, no way.
Luffy might.
Luffy
need
would
a.
be a stretch for me, which is funny because it's obviously my favorite anime.
Yeah.
But Luffy would be a stretch for me. To put in top
need
3.
to know what he told the crew when he said this is my dream, and once I know that, I would be for sure. Because
Mhm.
it's not be King of the Pirates. We'd know that already. It's got to be something we don't know.
They were shocked.
Yeah.
They were all surprised by it, and the same thing happened with with Roger.
Yeah.
When he told the crew his dream or whatever, and we don't know that either. It's probably the same fucking dream.
Yeah.
And he maybe told Rayleigh this, which is why Rayleigh is like, I'm gonna train you the shit out of you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go protect everyone that you love from Blackbeard, kick his ass. You know.
But once we know that, I think I would solidify if he's a top main character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so maybe that'll be another day or another episode. But yeah, basically, so like next week he'll prepare it. I'll be on the lightning round hot seat. Then we'll just flip flop back and forth every week. That's our plan.
Yeah, so my first one was gonna be about anime, but now I'm gonna rethink it. I have another one that's anime related.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll save for not next. I know not next week because I think we're still planning on doing this bi-weekly. to
Mm-hmm.
start. Give ourselves some leeway to work into the punishments. Now that we
Yeah.
actually have Monday set up and we're gonna do punishments, a little bit scary because I'm the one that's been holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
And this week I have anchor week, which means I have to go into the office Monday to Thursday. So
Oh
it's
damn.
gonna be tougher for me to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So I need the 2 weeks. I need that extra week, to get this stuff done. Um, yeah. So I'll think of some. I'll think of some more top threes. I did think of another one that was video game related. Maybe I'll do that one.
Mm-hmm.
I
Very
don't really
cool.
care if I give you the genre because
Yeah.
you could have to think of a million different things
Mm-hmm.
that you would have a top 3 list of. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I guess next we can do this movie trailer that came out. It's called, I don't know the whole title. It's not just Ungentlemanly Warfare, but that's like it's like Ungentlemanly Warfare colon something. Um,
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly
yeah,
Warfare.
oh,
I think,
that's what it is.
the
Yeah,
whole thing.
so that's a trailer that came out. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't hear this movie at all. He added it to the agenda. I watched the trailer. It looks pretty cool. I'd probably watch it. I don't know if I'd go see it in theaters. I would definitely watch it on streaming, unless someone else wanted to go see it in theaters, in which case I would go then.
Mhm.
But it looks cool. I mean, Henry Cavill looks like a fucking psychopath in the movie, which is cool.
I know he plays not his normal character.
Yeah,
Like
like
he's
he's like
normally the
shooting.
straight laced, like he's the spy that's like dapper and in control and stuff, or
Yeah.
he's Superman, Clark Kent.
hmm
He's just
I
a fucking
It almost
psycho.
reminded me like Inglorious Bastards if they were all psychopaths.
Yeah,
That was the
kind
vibe
of
I
some
was
of them
getting.
were.
Yeah, they were
Kind of
out
some
here
of them were.
sculpting people.
Yeah,
Um,
and like the German that only kills other Germans or whatever.
yeah.
Oh no, that's the actor. There's an actor who's German and he won't be in any movie where he has to play a German or like whatever. The only movies he'll be in that are about World War II are ones where he gets to kill Nazis
Really?
because he hates them. Yeah, because he hates that
Yo,
aspect
I
of
saw
German
this one
history.
thing. Did you know there's some rule or law where like no villain in a movie can use an iPhone?
Yeah,
I didn't know this was a thing.
Apple has a ton of rules about product placement stuff.
Like
and I
Chris
think that they
Evans
will sue you if you have
in
them do it. Yeah.
in Knives Out was using an Android, and I was watching a breakdown of it of like the clues and Easter eggs throughout, and yeah, sure enough,
Apple has a bunch of policies about their brand. They're very brand safety
that's
conscious.
crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy that they would think that there would be people that would think, this fucking villain used an iPhone. I'm not gonna use an iPhone. Who thinks that? Like, even if there are villains that you can't or that you think you hate with a passion, like I'm thinking like for video games, the number one guy, the guy that's the villain from the past in Horizon, the asshole that basically ruins everything.
Yeah.
Like I was getting physically angry, like my face was getting red. I hated that guy. If I found out he used an iPhone or he used an Android device, he used the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra that I just got specifically, I still would have gotten this phone.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe they go to that extent, even working in the industry I work in, where it is all about like advertising and brand safety and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You
I
can't let
had
anyone touch it.
no idea that was a thing.
Only the good guys can use iPhones. Yeah.
Yeah.
iPhones will be in movies left and right, but only the good guys. And I think that a way that you can honestly, it actually gives away a way that you can tell twists.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a main character, everyone else using iPhones, and then they're using an Android.
Wow.
Like, then there's a good chance that they're gonna end up being the villain of the movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna start looking for that now.
I wonder if too many people catch on to that, if they'll have to just start using generic phones that
Yeah.
like there's no discerning
Like how in
features
like
on it
no,
whatsoever.
like how like in iCarly they would use like instead of the apple, it was like the pear, and their phones
Yeah.
were shaped in a pear. Yeah, they'll start doing something like that.
And they make it up, and it's obviously parodying Apple, but Apple can't do anything about a parody.
Yeah.
That's full free license. So yeah, like basically the way that movies use 555 numbers, which is numbers that don't exist in America ever, so you can use any number and show the full number. If someone calls it, it doesn't
Oh.
exist. Yeah, any area code, a 5 or the 555 area code doesn't exist. So it's 555 1 2 3 4 5 6 7.
Mhm.
That number will never exist because the area code 555 doesn't exist. It's used solely for marketing and like movie purposes. They would have to do
Oh.
the same thing with some kind of product for a phone.
Damn.
So many phones now are just earpieces, though.
That's
Like
true.
they just work in intelligence now. Everyone in movies works in intelligence. Everyone just has a freaking earpiece.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the movies I watch. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, not really much to say right now. It's coming out in 2024. I'll probably watch it.
I mean, it has the
Your
heroes.
goats. Yeah.
It has Henry Cavill and Alan Rich, and it has Superman and Reacher.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it a lot. It looks like Alan Richardson might have like literally 0 lines in the movie, though. Did you notice that he didn't speak in the
Yeah.
trailer at all?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if he's just a giant mute.
That'd be funny.
I'd be fine with it,
Yeah.
but still, I like the movie looks. Like honestly, the movie looks good to me.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be a really funny take.
If I
on
had what you
some
had, like the
war
A-list
stuff.
or whatever, I would probably go in theater. Like it looks like one that I would use my weekly movie for. But I
I'm gonna
just
do that
don't.
on Argyle. I'm gonna use one of my. It's 3 a week. A-list is
Oh,
3 movies a week
damn.
for free. Yeah,
That's crazy.
24 a month. I don't know about your state. Jersey specifically, you can't get a lower tier than the top tier one, so it
Oh,
has to be the 24 a month.
gotcha.
In other states, it can be cheaper. I don't know about your state.
Yeah.
What it is. There's only like 4 states where you have to be the top tier one, because the top tier one is they have different tiers, meaning like you can do one that's just your state.
Mm-hmm.
You can do one that's just your state and like a subset of other states, and then you can do one that's every state.
Oh, like if you
And
travel.
Jersey, you have to do every state. Yeah. So
Mhm.
Jersey, California, and 2 other states I think are on this list where the only way that you can do A-list in those states is if you do the nationwide A-list, which is the top tier one, most expensive.
Why Jersey?
I don't know, like just density of movie theaters maybe. I honestly don't know how they pick it.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's probably from movie going habits, and maybe in Jersey we just see more movies in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
so they think people will take advantage of the lower tier one.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah,
So
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it for free for sure. I'm gonna do the same to Argyle. Cavill's in that movie. I've been seeing
that's
bad
what's
reviews.
his face, right? Freaking Kingsman
Uh,
director.
Yeah,
I just bought Kingsman 2 on Blu-ray. I never seen it still.
The Golden Circle.
Yeah. I don't.
Kingsman
I
was a
love
sleeper hit
one.
for me. Yeah,
I still don't know how that it hasn't been spoiled for me somehow. I don't know how this motherfucker's back after being shot in the face.
yeah. It's not. I mean, you'll. The movie explains it in an okay way.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably watch it eventually. I might rewatch the first one because I love it so much. But
It's rare for me to like a movie so much I buy a Blu-ray, and
Mhm.
Kingsman was one of the few.
damn,
One of the lucky few. It was like Kingsman, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Avengers 1.
this whole I don't know if you can really see it. I might need to move my camera. This whole box behind me is all Blu-rays.
I think if you just move your mic, yeah. That's a crazy amount of Blu-rays. You know Best Buy's not going to sell them anymore, right?
Yeah, fuck Best Buy. I get them on
Yeah,
Amazon.
I said it.
Yeah.
Hashtag ad. Best Buy sponsor us, please.
Listen, I'll rescind my fuck Best Buy if you sponsor us.
Hey, I bought my phone at Best Buy. Hashtag ad.
Where did I get my phone? Oh, I got my phone at T-Mobile. Frick 'em. Not T-Mobile, frick Best Buy. Because here's the thing, listen, no, like they're crazy now with the membership. They're insane. Every time
Oh,
you
yeah, I
go
don't do
there.
membership.
No, I know, but even like we'll tell them not today. And this guy was talking to my friend. I was with my friend checking out. He's like, listen, you need to be on this plan. And my friend was like, not today. He's like, listen, maybe not today, but I want you on this plan. He's pointing at the middle one. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's either a good salesman or a terrible salesman.
Yeah.
It either works a lot or it doesn't. No one at any of the Best Buys I go to here care.
Every
No one,
single
they just
time
ask,
I've
"Are you
checked
part
out.
of it?" And if not,
Oh, every single time I've gone since they started doing it, I've been asked and I've been pressured. So now I don't go to Best Buy anymore unless I'm buying something online where I go pick it up and it's already paid for.
and then they'll probably still start asking you about it. Maybe they'll have someone call you or text you if you buy something online.
Yeah.
Hey, are you part of this?
It's
Are you
gonna be
part of this
crazy.
plan?
But yeah, so I guess now we can do a little bit of convince me. We haven't done one of these in a while.
No, there's like 9 on my list.
9 convince me's?
No, there's only 2 from me, 3
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
soul leveling was basically a convince
Yeah.
me. My big titty.
So I finished, I finished it today, so I didn't tell you, but I finished Heavenly Delusion, which was one of the ones that we kept seeing on the Anime Awards last week.
Mhm.
So I started it last week after we recorded, and then I finished it today. It's pretty good. I will say it's 1, confusing as shit, and 2, it's not really cliffhangery. Like I don't have an urge to read the manga. because
Mhm.
certain plot lines were concluded, but not much was answered in season 1. But there was a post-credit scene, which makes me think even though season 2 was not confirmed, it's probably gonna happen. But it's crazy. Like, I don't fucking know what's happening in this show, but it's still cool. Like, I'm convinced. It's like half. It's maybe like 72% confirmed that like you follow two groups of people in this show. One is this girl escorting this guy to this place called Heaven. It's almost like Last of Us in this sense, where this person was like given to this other person, was like, hey, bring him here.
Mhm.
And then you follow this giant group of kids in a place called Heaven. I'm 95% convinced that these are happening at different times, and Heaven is in the past, and we're in the present day now. I don't know if that's actually happening, but
And they're gonna get to some ruins
I
when they get to heaven.
I
That's
think
what you think?
so. But like, well, so also like, no, you watch it and then we'll talk. But
This
it's
is a convince me. That's
yeah.
like you gotta the pitch.
No, but the pitch is a
What's an
spoiler,
elevator
or
pitch?
I guess it's not like a spoiler because like I don't know for sure. It's heavily hinted at that so that in the present day there's monsters in the world, like and they're called like man eaters or whatever, and it's heavily hinted at that I think the kids in the orphanage become the monsters, and not like they can
Mm,
transform at will, but like they're just like mindless beasts now. So like you feel bad for them while you're watching it.
almost like a Titan-esque thing.
Yeah,
I'm far
yeah,
enough along that you've seen from Ymir's past that like
yeah,
they inject people with shit and
yeah,
then become Titans. Yeah. Spoiler, who cares?
yeah. It's old now.
That series is old. It came out, I think I remember not when we first met, but before Twitch at all, you showed me Attack on Titan episode like 4 where it's the Attack Titan is literally like stomping on the other Titan. You're like, look what happens in the series. That was the current episode. That was when it
Yeah,
aired.
yeah.
You were like, you have to watch this series, and I gave it a chance. I hated Eren Yeager, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going in season 2, and here we are. Now I'm
Yep.
on season 3, finally. So
But
your
yeah,
elevator pitch, what do you love about the series? Like, what is the part that makes you think
the
other people need to watch it?
it's animated like a fucking movie. It's beautiful. Like
Okay.
I don't really think about like cinematography in anime, but like this shit, I'm like that camera angle's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The choreography, because like there is action, but like there's not like too much like hand to hand combat, but like the choreography is really cool. The characters are really cool. A minor spoiler, again, it's not like entirely confirmed, but the main girl who's escorting the main guy is at once they were two siblings, a girl and a little brother, and then there was an accident, and now the brother is in his sister's body, but he doesn't really know how. So like he the main character that is being escorted from this person is like, "Hey, I love you." And then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "I'm a guy." And I at first I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like there's like a transgender character. There's some cool representation." But then it's actually like um I don't actually know how for sure. There's a scar on her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
So I think his brain was put in her body. I don't know how the fuck that would work. I'm sure they'll explain it eventually. But that's my prediction right now. Um
Okay.
but yeah, very cool show. It's only 13 episodes right now. Um and yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
For that one, you want to just alternate because
Yeah,
we
we
have
can
5 of these
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
All right. Convince me number 2. I'll switch off of the anime because I gotta go back to anime after this one, so we'll just alternate that way.
Also,
So
this
my
next
convince
convince
me,
me, I'm probably gonna watch already. So this is a convince me for the audience.
yeah, I mean, convince me is supposed to be like for each other, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of like when we first thought of it. But Heavenly Delusion, you've kind of convinced me. I do want to address. I think that a lot of animes are moving in the direction of being like movie quality for episodic content,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. I
Yeah.
think that One Piece's new art style for the newest arc is kind of like that.
Oh really?
It looks like it's movie level quality animation. I
Damn.
think that might have been the intro episode to it, and they like were like showing you like, yeah, look how good this style of anime can be.
Mm-hmm.
But even like some of the CGI stuff, like Trigun Stampede, and like the different, like you said, camera angles and different shots and stuff. they're putting a lot more thought into that stuff because the technology has advanced to the point where they do have more free time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you have studios like Mappa that work them to the bone because they have like 5 different series ongoing at the same time. They're all high quality, high profile.
Yeah.
But I also think that like, um, I also think that there are a bunch of other anime series that are doing that where
Mm-hmm.
they're upping their game graphical quality wise and cinematography wise.
Yeah.
Uh, and I really hope of one series that I really hope does it because they've always been kind of archaic in this is Dragon Ball Super. When
Mm-hmm.
they eventually come back, I really, really want like such an upgrade in animation quality.
Yeah.
They're usually good, but when you compare it side by side to anything else, it's normally like a
Well,
little bit subpar animation
the
style.
next series we're gonna get is Dragon Ball like Daima or something.
Daimo,
Yeah.
Daimyo or whatever,
Um.
where
Which
they all get babyfied
yeah. Which
instead of just Goku.
I don't think it's canon. It might be like anime canon. Who knows? Because we know Dragon Ball Super does that weird stuff. Anime canon, manga canon. But even if it's not, I mean, it looks like a cool concept. Um. I always like seeing like I think it's hilarious like when Goten goes Super Saiyan. I think it's funny when like little body goes Super Saiyan.
Hmm.
So I'm sure we'll see more of that.
I
Um,
think it's so weird how, at least in GT, what they said was like Goku getting de-aged meant that he couldn't go Super Saiyan 2 and 3 anymore because he was too young. He didn't have the potential. That doesn't make any
yeah,
fucking sense to me.
because
And I
he
hope that they
because
don't do
he
that.
couldn't go Super Saiyan 1 when he was a kid. So why can't he go Super Saiyan 1 in GT as a kid?
Yeah, and like Gotenks as a little kid, he goes fucking Super Saiyan 3 in
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
So like that didn't make any fucking sense either, even though he was a fusion. So I guess that doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. But still, I don't know what kind of rules they put in place for that shit. But anyway, I do think that a lot of series are going that direction. I know like Mappa has been crazy. Their art, and people do stills from there. It's like, oh, I wonder why the animators are so overworked, and you just have like a shot of Nanami, and he looks like a fucking badass. um, so my convince me, I'm gonna do Reacher. So Reacher it's Alan Richson. He's in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Tall blonde guy. He's in Blue Mountain State. He was in New Girl for an episode. He was in Fast X as now the new cop, the new like muscle bound cop
Oh
guy.
right, he was.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So he's probably gonna become part of the family at some point if he wasn't already in Fast X. I haven't seen it, but every big ass cop that follows them becomes part of the family. That's like just a trope of the series at this point.
Listen,
I did see something that was like Fast and Furious 1 is the two cars side by side off, they go so fast that they literally catch air even on no hill.
hmm
And then Super Saiyan. And then Fast and Furious 9, they're like the car becomes like a rocket, like it looks like a DeLorean both rocket ships on the back, which I guess really happened.
Oh yeah, they
And it
sent
was
the
like
Fiero to space.
yeah, and then it's like and then Fast and Furious 17 and it's literally the Millennium Falcon and like a bunch of TIE fighters shooting each other. It's like,
Listen, I'd be down
yeah,
for
that's
it.
where it's going. That's where it's going. They're gonna be racing fucking rocket ships. They're gonna find alien species. It's gonna turn into Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like the origin
What
of
if?
Star Wars.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I
first
was gonna say,
Jedi.
yeah.
The
Him
first
and he
fucking
was Dom
Jedi.
Toretto.
Yeah. Jedi are
Family.
family. But yeah, so back to Reacher. I will say season 2 just finished. I think season 1 is slightly better than season 2 for a couple of reasons, but they're both really good. Season 1 obviously an introduction to the character, there's a lot of mystery. It's more along the lines of, Knives Out where it's kind of a whodunit. He's solving a mystery. They're all kind of supposed to be like that. They were special investigators, his unit in the army. He was the leader of them. So I think that all the books are really supposed to be about him figuring things out and solving mysteries to an extent, like crimes that are like really huge and might, span into the government, into the military, whatever. Um, but season 1 is a lot of like you think it's this person, you think it's that person and stuff. Season 2, they essentially introduce you to who the villain is. They tell you who it is. They show you who the villain is for sure
Hmm.
at the beginning, and it's more about season 1 is more about like the whodunit, and season 2 is almost more about getting the backstory of Reacher and who he is as a person. Even though season 1 adapts book 1 and season 2 adapts like book like 11
Hmm.
or 8 or something, they jump around. I think season 3 is back to adapting like book 3 or 5, something earlier in the series, and they're filming that now. But it's just a really good series. It's well acted. Like there's the tension. You can feel the tension when the characters are talking. The way that Reacher is like so stoic and then when he does speak and he threatens you, you feel like, holy shit, I should be scared of this guy for
Mhm.
sure. There is a lot of good action, gunfights, good hand-to-hand combat, and it's shown really well. It's not a lot of cuts. One of the big complaints that I've heard from people has been, oh, hold on, wait, PetSmart's calling me. Pause. These, and then I'm
Yeah.
off the phone. Finish these and then kind of wrap up, I guess. And then moments from history and resolution updates we can put in the next one.
Yeah.
But we got through most other things.
Well, yeah, we'll cut off at Reacher then. We don't have to do the other.
No, we can do the other ones.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
said 30 to 45 minutes, and it's about 25 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
Let me know when you like unpause.
I unpaused after you said I'm off the phone now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. If
I
that's
misclicked.
in, then so be it. Whatever,
Yeah.
people. Yeah. So I was saying that one of the complaints I have heard from people that I've convinced to watch it is that they do comment on how big he is as a person a lot, and it's part of the humor of the show. Which, I mean, I take it as part of the humor of the show. Like, he's 6'5", like 250 pounds of muscle. You don't see that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like if The Rock walks into a room. The Rock in any movie, he has to be ex-military or ex-whatever. And they're not saying, "Oh, look at this guy; he's for sure ex-military." They just say, "Look at this fucking giant. What's he gonna do?" And like, as a spoiler, season 2, he's so strong. He's physically so powerful. He just kicks a car and deploys the airbag. Like, he does it on purpose. He uses all of his fucking body weight to kick the car. He deploys the airbag to knock the guy out and disorient him, then pull him out of the car and beat the shit out of him.
Damn.
So like, there's a lot of things like that. He's very like one or two words as a reply, but he makes it funny because Alan Richardson himself started in comedy. It seems like he was more of a comedic actor, like Blue Mountain State and a couple other roles where he was more animated. So he has good comedic timing. He puts a lot of effort into all the characters that he plays. He posts on Instagram about how like he takes the time every Saturday to read the scripts that you're going to be shooting starting Monday or whatever. He's like, Saturday's a work day for me. Like, I work 6 days a week, Monday to Friday shooting. Saturday is my day to get all of my stuff in line. I read all the scripts. I read all the background material. I get stuff in my head. I think about different ways to do things. And then Sunday is kind of his day off where he spends with his family and, and I'm sure that there's other mixed in things where he spends with his family after work or whatever. But, like, it's well acted. It's well directed, well shot. The world itself is very awesome. Like, the characters around it are really, all the supporting characters are pretty awesome and unique in their own way. A lot of them are combative with Reacher, and that like just leads to good banter. Very TikTokable moments. So we have to watch it and study, and we need to banter more and argue more. I've hesitated to say stuff that I know will make you like want to banter with me in the past, because I don't want you to fucking threaten to stop doing the podcast, because that's what you used to do at the beginning.
Yeah.
No, I know you won't actually, but he did it so often at the beginning. He was like, podcast canceled.
Podcast canceled. That's
and
how
I really
it works.
wanted to do the podcast. I couldn't risk him actually following through on the threat.
It also depends.
But now,
if it depends what it is, but most of the time, I'm kidding. I don't think I've ever actually said it seriously, but if you really piss me off,
yeah, which I have a tendency to do, but I've kind of calmed down with that now that I pick other targets now.
Good.
And not you. I've paid you back enough.
So is that?
But TLDR on the Reacher is just basically like, it's a very cool story, which is what I think is a very big deal when it comes to series and being engaging and stuff. It's good mystery and good tension. The character design of Reacher and the side characters are very good. And overall, it's very well shot and very well acted. All of the actors are top tier actors, at least in my book. I didn't really notice anything where I was like, oh, this is unbelievable, or this person's kind of like phoning it in or whatever. Season 1 even has Lana Lang from Smallville, Kristen Cruick, and she seemingly has not aged. She is still like still one of my first crushes ever for sure. Definitely still crushing on her.
That's funny. All right, then my next one. So I have one of my friends who's always trying to show me these Indian movies, which like there's like. So I always thought they were all encapsulated as like Bollywood, but apparently I was wrong. There's Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood. It all just depends on.
I also thought it was only Bollywood. I thought that was a typo when you first typed it.
Yeah, no. It all depends on the language of origin, or like the city in India of origin.
And Bollywood is what, like Bangladesh or something?
That
You don't know?
I
All right.
could say yeah, and I could be right, but I'm not confident in my yeah.
All right.
Um,
And just in case you didn't guess, the friend that he's talking about is Indian.
yeah,
So
he's South
might be
Indian.
how we found them initially. How we got
um,
into them initially.
so I'm slightly changing my convince me because I talked to him and I was like, I need to convince someone to watch these movies that I watched recently. We watched this thing called the LCU, which is the Lokesh Cinematic Universe, who's the director of these movies. He directed them all, and basically each individual one is like Indian John Wick. Like the combat and the hand to hand choreography is so cool, and um,
I
they
don't even
even
know if more needs to be said in the
yeah,
convince me. Like
that's it.
Indian John Wick,
But
anything John Wick
so
is
I
probably
asked him, and I was like, "Is this a good Indian film intro to do?" And he was like, "Listen," and I've seen this one, but he's like, "There's one movie called RRR," and he's like, "That's a great gateway film for someone who hasn't seen any Indian film yet." It actually won an Oscar, like an American, or is Oscar the movie one?
yeah.
Yeah. So it
Academy
won.
Awards,
Yeah, yeah.
Oscars. Yeah.
So it won one. I think for like best like because not
Best
every
international.
no, but it might have been for their because not every Indian film has like song and dance. Even though like when you think of Bollywood, you probably think of song and dance type movies.
Mm-hmm.
This RRR has like a couple, and I think it won best song and dance from any movie or something that year or something. Um, but so RRR is basically like the best bromance film you'll ever see, but also like action and it's crazy. It's basically about like or core theme of it is like the British like how they basically like fucked over India and like came in and
Mm-hmm.
like did a bunch of shit to them. The
Getting
villain,
some geopolitical
yeah.
education here.
Um the villain was his last role was actually in Ahsoka. The guy, so he was like a British actor, and he plays the villain in RRR and the villain in Ahsoka.
I've yet to see it, but
Yeah,
okay.
me too. I'm real behind on my Star Wars and MCU. Honestly, I'm real behind on everything.
I'm behind on everything except anime, to be honest.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, basically that film is just it's awesome. It's less like hand to hand combat action and more just like crazy shit happens at one point. Like the guy's legs don't work, so his friend he goes on his friend's shoulders and he's his legs, and they're beating the shit out of people left and right. It's
That
crazy.
sounds amazing. That scene alone is probably worth at least watching the movie for. So I think you've sufficiently convinced me. But you have to send me a link to the movie because it's just the letter triple R.
Yeah, it's
It's like
RRR.
triple X, but R instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and so yeah, that's basically so my convince me is technically four things. It's RRR and then the three
The
Lokesh
LCU.
cinema. Yeah. Um, and so the three LCU movies are basically like they haven't been too integrated so far. It really so far it's been basically like Iron Man, Captain America, Incredible Hulk. Like they haven't interacted
Mm-hmm.
too much. We've seen like maybe one character carry over between them. Um but yeah,
So we're waiting
it's
for the payoff where
yeah.
they all
So
come together, like the
so
Avengers film.
yeah, so the three movies are one's called like Kaithi, one's called Leo or Vikram, and then Leo. I think like Kaithi 2 is already confirmed, and I'm sure that there's other ones where they're all gonna come in.
Mm-hmm.
But they're cool as fuck. Vikram, that's my fucking guy. He's so cool. Um, Leo has one of the craziest scenes of all time. There's like a fight scene in a coffee shop, and this guy just shoots every single one of them in the head. It's crazy.
Kingsman style.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
Um. But
All the
yes.
movies you're comparing it to are winners.
Yeah.
So like that alone is
So like
that's a
the
win-win. Where do you
LCU.
watch them?
So Hythe is on Prime. Vikram is on Hulu and Leo's on Netflix. I have no idea how that worked
Jesus
out. You
Christ.
would think that they'd all be on one.
Yeah.
Um, and then RRR. There's different languages. I need to ask because like they'll do like they'll do dubs of every single language for these Indian films, and then every single one will be a different listing on whatever app it's on. So I need to figure out
Mhm.
which one was the original for RR. But like you can watch Leo dubbed. I think we didn't do that. Um, we watched it because he speaks the language that it's originally filmed in, which I think is like Tamil or something. Like I was using the subtitles. He was just listening like a normal movie. Um, but yeah, so that's mine.
Mhm.
It's crazy. In Leo, there's one scene where he fights a coyote, barehanded, basically. Some guy tried to shoot a tranquilizer at the coyote. He misses, or a hyena. That's what it was. And so
Okay.
Leo's fighting him one on one. It's crazy.
It sounds awesome. It does. It sounds crazy,
There,
but yeah, in a good
there
way.
are like some like cultural things that like I didn't get, but like you're not missing out on too much. I feel like,
If you watch anime or
yeah,
any other like country's cinema or entertainment, then you're kind of used to that.
yeah,
There are things that they mention in anime that I'm like, oh, that's like some sort of god, I think, in
yeah.
Japan. And it's like it's never big on the story, and if it really is, they usually explain it.
Mm,
Like if it's important to know information, they'll explain it somewhere. Yeah,
yeah.
but you can
Um,
always look stuff up on Google.
yeah. But so that's my second convince me.
Okay. Solo leveling, by the way, my big titty was technically convinced me. Everyone
Yeah.
should watch that. I don't even care. Everyone should suffer with me and have to watch weekly. All right. So my other convince me before his last one, then we wrap up, is other new anime that's going to be for like definitely a contender. If it wins nothing else at next year's anime awards, it's going to win best intro.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to
Well,
win either best intro song or best intro.
so when did the intro change? January? Because it might be in that weird limbo loop where it can't get like intro
The intro
one
changed
or
when the second chorus started, which would have been like the end of January. Yeah.
but you're talking about intro one. That's the banger, right?
Intro 1 is the banger. Intro 2 is pretty good.
So
I'm
that
still
one,
not skipping it,
yeah. So that might
but
be in
intro
like
1 is better.
the limbo area where like
It better not be.
2023. Yeah, I don't
It better
know.
not be. It better not be. It should have been nominated this year if it was in the limbo area. All right. I'm telling you that right now. I will be pissed. I will call up Crunchyroll,
Damn.
which, by the way, we should talk about that one too. Next pod, I guess. How they're merging Funimation and Crunchyroll and they're not transferring
Yeah.
over the digital rights. So,
Like you have my Dragon Ball Super Broly digitally on Funimation, I
yeah.
think. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gone.
And now it won't. Yeah, it's gone. But whatever. They put it on
Yeah.
Crunchyroll. So who cares? I think most of the stuff probably is getting transferred over to Crunchyroll. So if you have an account,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably going to be like, yeah, you lose your copy that you own, but you have access to it permanently
Yeah.
on Crunchyroll, like to stream and download. But I want to look up more about like the merger terms and stuff, and so we can talk about it more. I just read about that. I
Yeah.
think like last night or this morning. But anyway, my second convince me is Shangri-La Frontier. I was randomly scrolling Crunchyroll, and on the popular or on the simulcast of this month of January or whatever, it may have started all the way back in October. I feel like it was like on October simulcast is when I first started watching it because it's on episode 18. The fuck was 18 weeks ago? Like October? They took like I don't even they didn't take a break. They had a recap between core 1 and core 2.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something
Yeah.
like October.
Ish.
And I think that the awards you have to have like a full core out probably by either by the end of the year or like by the end of November or something so it can be nominated and reviewed,
Yeah.
which is why I think this will be put into next year's. But Shangri-La Frontier, I was just looking through it. It like the artwork at the beginning was like this huge, expansive like, I know where it is now,
Wait, so
but you didn't know where
is
it was at
main
the time.
character bird guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I
His
know
in-game
about the show.
persona is Sunraku.
Mm-hmm.
He takes pieces of his first and last name and kind of combines them. It's not that his name starts with Sun and Raku is in his last one. It's like the characters are different.
Yeah.
He just uses the characters to combine them, and their sounds are totally different because the Japanese alphabet and language is
I don't
wild.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but they kind of explain how he gets the username, and so
Mhm.
you maybe get like a little piece of it there. But it's just him in a bird mask sitting there, and with two look like bloody knives in his hand, but in this cartoonish background. And I know now where it is after watching the series. But I read the description and I was like, you know what, this list seems okay. I mean, if I had to just explain it, I would say it's Sword Art Online without the stakes.
Mm.
Like, it's what Sword Art Online would be if the guy that made the game wasn't an asshole and people could just log in and play the game and have fun and experience it and then log out and, eat pizza
Mm-hmm.
or like do whatever the fuck they wanted instead of being trapped in the game for 2 years. You're not trapped in the game, but this world is a world. This is how I've been explaining it to everybody. It's usually captured people's attention. Now, I know I already kind of did this with you, but audience, you're gonna end up watching it after you hear this description. If you're into anime even whatsoever, I honestly think this would be a good intro anime for people
Damn.
because it's really light. It's not. There's no heavy themes. There's no heavy world building because it's just a video game world. So that you're not really building the world. You're learning about the world alongside the main character
Mm.
because it's just an MMO. It's like if World of Warcraft was doing full dive
I told
technology.
my friend, like, full transparency. I said, when full life technology comes out, you will never see me again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm gonna die. I was thinking about this last night. Like, you never think about the stakes in anime, but if they're in full dive technology, are they getting forced logged out so that they drink their energy drinks, or they eat dinner, or they go to the bathroom, or are they literally just like pissing themselves in bed and they have to clean their sheets every night?
Well, that's what Sword
You
Art
know,
Online happened.
I feel like well, yeah, they had to take the servers offline and like whatever, get moved to the
The
to the
hospitals,
hospital and
yeah.
shit. But this is a world where full dive technology was just invented. So most of it, it's like VR technology now.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the games suck ass, but they're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the games suck ass, or they're really simple, or they're like stupidly impossible to beat and complex controls and stuff because the developers never figured it out, to be honest. So imagine that, but in full dive technology. Most of the games, like, they function, but some of them go for ultra realism. So when you die in the game, it feels too realistic and it gives people like panic attacks. So they have to take those off the market. Um, you're in worlds where everything is majorly bugged, or like, so there's bugs galore, and some of the games all you do is play them to find bugs and stuff. Some games have bad hit detection, or they're platforming but they're really hard to control because the interface between your brain and whatever's controlling the character is not as great. But Shangri-La Frontier is the name of the game in the series, and it's made by the team, or like the company that created full dive technology. The inventors of full dive technology made this game. So it's like one of the only god tier games in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the main character prides himself on being a trash game hunter. Trash games are all the games we just described, like full of bugs, difficult for no reason, terrible stories, or like very difficult win conditions.
Like that one game that got
Um,
removed off Steam after like a day or whatever. It was real hyped. I forget a day after, a day before or something.
a day gone or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like,
a day before. Was it a day before?
I want to say
Yeah, but that
before
was
was
because
when.
the studio was shady or something.
Oh,
Like
I thought it was just
that was
bad.
studio shenanigans. Yeah. Um, and so in Shangri-La Frontier, the guy is a trash game hunter. So he plays all the games with all the bugs. He makes it his mission to beat these games, or like play these games to the fullest extent. So in like a fighting game, he's discovered a bunch of bugs because that's what he does. He's basically like what a game tester would be, or maybe even a pro gamer. One of his best friends that plays a bunch of these games with him is a pro gamer. So like he has like the skill to be a programmer. Like, so does this trash game hunter guy. And most of the games in the world are honestly trash games. Like, you start in a game where like you have to beat the final boss in board shorts, which are basically like tidy whities but a different color,
Mm-hmm.
and like a wrestling mask, and the only way to beat the final boss. And like, that's one of the hardest games ever. You have to spend He spent months beating it or whatever, and then summer break happens and he's gonna play SLF, Shangri-La Frontier, and it's a god tier game, and you're just in this immersive world. And the thing I like about the series is you spend way more time in the game than you do in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
But you do spend some time in the real world where he's on his phone looking up forums about the game. There are some real world gamer tendencies that they really capture correctly, like toxicity
Mm-hmm.
and the way people argue on forums immediately when someone's asking for help or something. Like, they have a whole segment where you're gonna have to pause it because they're long comments that they translate in like transparent text in the top left, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
paragraphs, and
Yeah.
it's on screen for 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pause it to read the whole thing. They have guilds, and not to spoil, because there's this happens basically in episode 3 or whatever, or like somewhere in the early episodes. But part of the game is that there are these 7 colossi, these named monsters, that once you beat them, they're beaten forever. But no one's beaten a single one, and most people, they've only even encountered, I think, 3 of the 7. Everyone knows there's 7, but no one's encountered any before. Besides like these 3 known ones. Um, And in this world, people are not willing to share information. They're all trying to figure stuff out for themselves and just beat the monster first and stuff like that.
Mm.
No shared tactics or anything. And the main character comes across one of them. It's just at random. And his skills are so good that even though he's a low level, he spends like 30 minutes fighting this thing before it eventually takes him out and curses him. And so no one's seen this curse mark before in the game. So he's doing all this stuff as a trash game hunter using his skills. Even though he's a low level, he still manages to do a bunch of high level content, level up really quickly. Like he fights things. He basically fights this monster for 30 minutes by taking 0 hits,
Mm.
by doing like frame perfect counters,
Wait, so okay,
dodges, using all of his abilities to the maximum extent.
so
Yeah.
is there stakes, or is it just
It,
I'm trying to beat it?
so he decides after this monster beats him, he's like, I don't care about the final boss. I don't care about the story of this game. No one's beating you. I am. So his whole mission is to beat this one Colossi now. But the world is like, it builds on itself, and there's a bunch of characters from other games that come in that know him, that are either like enemies of his or friends of his. It doesn't seem, it's hard to tell right now if there are stakes. The AI of the characters is so good, they're basically like other beings. It's basically like other players instead of NPCs. There's the game is so good that a lot of people are getting wrapped up in the lore and the story and everything. And it's really hard to tell, to be honest, right now, just from the small snippets we've seen of like the servers running it and stuff. It's hard to tell. Like, I have some theories, right? I don't know if it's really just a game that was made by this unknown person, like who invented full dive technology, or if there's literally like an AI system out there that's trapped in its own world or something and made this technology so someone could come free it. Like that's one of my theories is like these NPCs are real entities. They're just artificial entities, but it's almost like Sword Art Online, where you have like toward the later seasons, you have AI technology that's kind of coming in and becoming its own person and kind of humanizing NPCs and stuff. And it's really hard to tell if there are stakes or not. It's just you're just going to be shocked by how much you enjoy the humor, the content, the way like the character design, the reason why he wears the bird mask. Like there's a lot of funny, awesome stuff to it. Uh, and the characters are all engaging and all very unique and have all their own different like motives. There's backstabbing among guilds because like a guild's not taking the game seriously enough and stuff. It really is like what Sword Art Online probably should have been, you know? Like, I mean, it had its own concept, but what Sword Art Online really should have been more about like the game, not so much like everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
And as a gamer, you might have more of an affiliation or like appreciation for it and more of an affinity for liking this game or this anime. But I don't know. It's almost hard to encapsulate like why I like it so much. It's just there's so much like good pieces of other like anime tropes that's brought into it. Like there's a real world love interest, and she's been trying to play trash games to try and play with this guy and be like, yeah, I can play games with you, but she's not good enough. So instead, this owner of the game shop is like, well, just get good at a god tier game, and eventually he'll play it, and you can show him the ropes. So she's like, okay, and so she plays the SLF, and she becomes addicted, like a WoW addict, like falling asleep in the cafe 72 hours into your play session kind of thing. And she's in like one of the top guilds. Her sister runs the top guild, and she's basically like one of the strongest beings in the game. No one wants to fight her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but she's just this sweet girl that like does like judo classes on after school or something, and she's afraid to talk to her crush, who's the main character. You know, so it has the love trope thing, and it does a lot. It makes a lot of use out of the minis at the end of these episodes, which is like this new anime theme that's been happening in everything, including One Piece, where you just get extra information that they couldn't fit in the episode in like short form, like not as highly animated stuff. And a lot of those are funny. Some of them are story relevant. But the way that they make use of it, they skip over some stuff, like they almost fast forward through some aspects of it, and then they go back and revisit it in the minis. Like it's not super important, so they skip it in the main episode, and then if you want, you can watch the mini at the end and get a little bit more of that content.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that one and Solo Leveling are going to be the top 2 animes of 2024, guaranteed.
Damn.
And the intro song is called "Broken Games" by FMXZ or something like that. I forget the band's name, the Japanese band's name, but it's Broken Games. There's no other song with that title on Spotify. You can just ask for it. And the second song for the second intro that's not quite as good, but is still pretty good, is Danger Danger.
Gotcha.
Both worth at least one listen.
Well, we're at an hour and a half, and you have to get your dogs. So
Or we can save the last.
we
Convince
can
me
save
then.
the last one. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch it. I already said my plan is to finish up Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City Part 1, and then I'll watch the first core of this show, and then I'll watch Battle City Part 2, or the filler, and then I'll watch Core 2. So I already plan to watch
I mean,
it.
little does he know that he's gonna love this series so much that he's gonna be like, "Nah, I'm just gonna power through and finish the whole thing."
There is the possibility of that.
If it doesn't happen, I'll be shocked. I'm not even kidding.
No,
If
but
it
I
doesn't
like to
happen
stick
where
to
it
my, because like here's the thing, like if I need to sit through, because like that's how I might if I might need to power through Yu-Gi-Oh, so I might tell myself I have to watch this before I can watch Core 2.
the Battle City finals are like a
No,
lot, like really
but I
good.
but I have to watch the Noah filler first.
That's decent though. It's a cool take on
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Like it's an interesting side concept of what Yu-Gi-Oh could be. It's almost like if Yu-Gi-Oh was like SLF.
Yeah.
Where like you go in and the monster spirits are like real roaming around and shit. It's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll watch it for sure.
The world needs to watch it. Everyone needs to have been convinced of this.
Yeah. Listen, if there's like 20 viewers on this episode, 20 new people need to have watched this show.
For sure. I don't know if there's any other content. I think if anything, it'll win intro, but it might win also anime original. If
There's no, like,
other.
Hang on, I can answer.
Oh no, it's a Japanese web novel series.
Which is probably like when it says web novel, I think that means like a light novel.
Yeah, probably May of 2017, and it's taken this long to adapt it.
Well, hang on.
Manga
This
adaptation.
this says Weekly
starting in
Shonen
July.
Magazine. It's in.
Manga adaptation has been serialized in shonen manga since July 2020.
Yeah.
Which means, holy shit, is this on?
It's not on.
That means
the
that's on Shonen Jump, probably,
no,
right?
it doesn't. You would have seen it.
Fuck.
I guarantee you would have seen, or I would have seen it.
Damn it. Oh, I'm gonna look because this, like, Solo Leveling, I might be able to wait on if it ends at a good point, but this one, that's why I'm so torn. Solo Leveling seems like the more interesting concept of a series,
Mhm.
but Shangri-La Frontier, I want more of it. It's almost like I'm addicted to this anime. I can't remember the last time I felt like this about an anime.
Damn.
Like where I had to power through it,
That's crazy.
or where I needed the next one.
See, but I don't know, because yeah, on Anime Plan it says based off a web novel. So I don't know what that means. Because that means there's its own tag for based on a light novel, and there's its own tag for based on a manga. So, it says web novels are novels published online by websites.
Mhm.
So,
This one has 17 out. 17 episodes out for the anime so far. I didn't see
Yeah.
where it said there's a video game in development
I mean,
by
listen,
Netmarble.
that's a
27th.
gotcha
Not.
then.
Oh, is it?
Netmarble's gotcha, I'm pretty sure.
It might be a gacha that I play alongside Dokkan. I'm not even kidding.
Damn.
The world is just so cool. All right.
All right. Well, while he looks into this, I guess I will do the outro.
It's ongoing too. Okay.
What is?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, the manga, or the light
the manga,
yeah.
The
Whatever
manga,
it is.
July 15th to present. 16 volumes out so far.
Well, yeah. So that's gonna do it for today. Thank you everyone for listening, watching. Hopefully, maybe you came from TikTok, because there should be a TikTok episode or TikTok clip thing from this part when we did the top 3. So maybe you came from that. If you did,
We got to make a TikTok account.
Yeah.
Side note.
But yeah, so consider following wherever, Spotify, I don't freaking know. YouTube, subscribing, share it with your friends, share it with your mom. Maybe she'd like it. Also, if your mom's single, hit me up. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for today. Thanks everyone for listening, watching. I already said that already, but I'm thanking you twice because that's how kind I am.
Yeah,
You
your
didn't
new
hear it here
father
first.
thanking you right now.
I'll give you like a Nintendo Switch game if you're good too. You want freaking Super Mario Bros. Wonder? I got you. That's Christmas right there. You didn't hear it here first. You didn't hear it here last. You heard it here eventually.